Good morning from Sheffield, England, and the World Junior Ball Hockey Championships. It's Friday, it's day 3, and ready on the floor. Our opening game this morning, just a few moments away. Switzerland and Canada at under 18. Ready on the floor then, and the ball drops. We're underway on day 3 of the World Junior Ball Hockey Championships. Switzerland in the white and grey, going from left to right. Canada in their all black. Early scare for Canada. Santaguida juggles it in front of the crease and has to react to prevent the ball going in the opening seconds. Face off in the Canada zone. And we're off and running low, having the chase with Gautreau. It's dispossessed in the zone. fights back and wins it back, Daniel Lowe. And then it's fired down the floor from Switzerland. And icing is the charge. Inside the first minute of day 3. And line change from the Swiss. Come down the floor for a face-off in the Switzerland zone. Round behind the net, puts it out in front, still there. And finally hangs on Lucas Stuckey in net for Switzerland. Had to be down smartly and makes the save. All change from both teams. New legs on the floor and we're good to go again. Face off in the Switzerland zone. Straub battling for it, but it's on the Swiss stick and they have a chance to clear it down the floor. In centre court with Fund and Ursch, but it's down the wing with Tavan Straub. Straub chases it to the top of the crease, but Stuckey gets there first and hangs on for the face-off. Attacking face-off for Team Canada with a line of Greer, Straub and Blows. Hi Miller and Carmichael on the back end. Kept in neutral territory by Hi Miller. Round behind the net for Blows. Blows back to Carmichael at the blue. Winds up, let's go from outside the blue. And a flashing the leather from Lucas Stuckey. Plucks it from out of the air and hangs on for the face-off. New forward line for Team Canada. And Canada win it from the face-off. Behind the net is Jared White. White kept in at halfway. Delorier and touches the players on the Switzerland bench. And we're blown down for face-off in the neutral zone. Canada win it from the draw. Backhand round behind the net by White. Battle in the corner, trying to secure possession, which Canada do. It's halfway with White. White lets go from just inside the halfway. Big shot from Briar White. It's 2 White on the Canada team. White with a Y in defence. That's Briar White. And you got Jared White, who's up at forward. Off by the boards behind the net. Still with Canada's possession. Coming up to the 3-minute mark in period 1. Chance in front, point blank save. Apostoliak is denied by Stuckey. And ever so slowly the ball rolls down the floor. And icing is the call. And come all the way back to the Switzerland zone there. Left hand side of Lucas Stuckey in the Switzerland net. From the draw, Canada winner Ryan Sallows behind the net to Richardson. Richardson looking for the outlet in front. Turns that way in this. Still ball on the stick from Richardson. Outlet in the centre. Pad save from Stuckey. Gets down smartly to that one. Still Canada with it. Up to Carmichael in the neutral zone. Wrist shot. Floats in. And then held at the side of the net by Lucas Stuckey for the face-off. A lot of pressure applied by Team Canada in the early exchanges. Three and a half minutes gone by in our opening period. And face off back on the Canadian side. Carmichael dumps it in. And we'll go again for the face off. Big wind up from Carmichael. It's blocked, but he gets a second chance. And then it's dispossessed, fired down the floor from Switzerland. Pedersen for Canada gets there. Played in round the back of the net. Johnson chasing in with Sean Ersch from Switzerland. Johnson lets it go from the top of the face-off circle. Over on the far boards, it's Ryan Sallows. He's dispossessed. Switzerland with a chance to counter-attack. This is Fun lets it go. It's blocked by Sallows. And it has to be smart in the neutral zone. That's Mitchell Livingston gets the stick in on the play. Ball goes up into the Canada bench. And we'll take a face-off in the neutral zone. 4.5 minutes gone by in our opening period. It's Switzerland 0, Canada 0. Under 18 action here at the World Juniors, Sheffield, England. Canada back to their own zone after a delayed offside. Kyle Linney forward to Low, backhands round behind the net for Gautreau. Gautreau gets there first, comes round to the face-off circle. Let's go! And it's blocked in front by Rodriguez. But then our first penalty of the game. It's on Switzerland, which means Canada get the first power play opportunity. So Switzerland's Ramon Meyer for charging. And Canada on the power play. We've got Pedersen at the blue line. A one-timer from Pedersen, that's high. Comes back to the blue line for Low. Pedersen running things at the point. Low lets it go. Wide of the net again. And then Switzerland able to clear it down the floor. One new player on for the Swiss penalty kill. Canada in neutral zone. Low. He's dispossessed for Switzerland. That's Kunsch, the Switzerland captain. Canada bring it through the neutral zone. Dumps it in. Switzerland should get there first. But physical presence from Canada. Win possession back to Pedersen, who's up at the point. Low thought about the one-timer. Instead took his time, let the shot go. And Stuckey in net for Switzerland. Gets down with the pads to make the save. .51 seconds left on the power play for Canada. 8:53 in the period. Scoreless so far, Switzerland and Canada under 18s. Canada still on the power play. Livingston is the one at the point. That's the one-timer go. Doesn't get through cleanly. Switzerland unable to make a full clearance. Another penalty on the play. Switzerland's Dominic Marty takes the high sticking penalty. And 31 seconds of a 5-on-3. Two-man advantage for Canada. Just extended period of special teams play. Ball back on the Switzerland side, but Canada with a numerical advantage. They gain possession to Livingston just inside the blue line. It's the one time ago. It's wide and come back to the near boards. Livingston fakes the shot and the one-timer backhand from Johnson in front. Scrambling away by Switzerland. And it's back to the Canada zone. Livingston picks it up at the hash marks. Switzerland, Maya returns to the floor, and we're 5-on-4 for Canada. And that was Ryan Sallows straight through the center of the floor. And his backhand effort grabbed by Stuckey. And remains scoreless. 7:54 to play in the first period. Switzerland 0, Canada 0. Still 1:20 on the power play for Canada. Pedersen, the one-timer from the wing by Greer. Hits the Switzerland body in front. And Swiss able to clear it down the floor. And Santaguida plays it for his defenseman. And bring it away into the second minute of the power play. Porter battling at this near wing. But Switzerland able to clear it with Rodriguez once again. He goes off for a change. Forecheck strong from Switzerland. It's just 30 seconds left on the power play. And Canada with very few clear chances, even on the two-man advantage. And then the drop pass from Canada forces the turnover. Switzerland down the floor. Was Geronimo Wiesman unable to use it, and Canada with Porter on these near boards. 5 seconds left on the power play. Porter centers to Pedersen, but it's forced back to Lowe in his own zone. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here in the first period. 6.5 to play. Scoreless Canada and Switzerland under 18s. Opening game of today on day 3 of the World Juniors here in Sheffield. Switzerland bringing it out from behind the net, but Tavin Straub with the strong play forces the turnover, and then the attempted shot. That's from Andrew Carmichael, Canada's captain. That's held up along the boards on the back end. Referee's there, lets play go on. Straub again uses the feet, brings it along, and kicks it out to Haimila. Haimila looks to cycles down low. Man primed in the neutral zone was White for the one-timer. Went wide of the target, but still Jared White runs in to get involved in the forward play. Haimila. And that was Straub with the one-timer from the top of the circle. Deflected away by Stuckey. Still pressure from Team Canada. 5 minutes to play in the opening period. Switzerland 0, Canada 0. Switzerland looking to carry it down the floor with Jesse Deli. These outnumbered in the Canada zone. Carmichael picks it up behind his own net. and just pauses for a moment, considers his options, and carries it forward for Canada. Over the blue, over the reds, over the blue again, into the offensive zone for Andrew Carmichael. But he's knocked off it, and Switzerland look to bring it away with Kunsch. Kunsch, the captain for Switzerland. He's dispossessed by White, Jared White down the wing. Switzerland down the floor, and icing. Just over 4 minutes remaining in our first period. Switzerland 0, Canada 0. Here at Sheffield 2016. You get in contact with us here at ringside on social media at Sheffield 2016. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. We'll have a check in our interval and give you a shout out in the second period. Tell us where you're watching. It's 10 to 8 on a Friday morning here, UK time. If you're in North America, it could be anything from 3 a.m. or even still late Thursday night for the west coast of USA and Canada. And it's there. Finally, the pressure tells. And Canada have the opening goal. West coast of USA and Canada. And it's there. Finally, the pressure tells. West coast of USA and Canada. And it's there. Finally, the pressure tells. So Ryan Sallows from Braden Delorier. Opening goal for Team Canada. Ryan Sallows with the shot, finally beats Stuckey. Chance for a second from Lowe. Lowe's in front of the crease. Can't find the shot after Stuckey was drawn out of position. And then Livingston from the centre circle. Deflected up and out of play for a neutral zone face-off. Both teams use the chance to bring on fresh legs, new players on the floor. Straub wins it, kept in at the red line by Carmichael. His wrist shot is wide of the mark, but Canada still with it. Blows is down low. Straub battling on the Swiss blue line. That's cleared over halfway, so Canada have to clear the zone. Carmichael knocked off it by Switzerland. The wrist shot from Remo Signier, gloved by Santaguida. And a rare foray into attacking zone for Switzerland. They'll get the offensive draw. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in our opening period. Canada 1, Switzerland 0. Ryan Sallows with the goal, the difference between the teams. Played forward with a high stick, but then Switzerland gained possession, so play waves on and continues in front. That's Dealey. Action right beside the net of Steven Santaguida. And finally we're blown down for the face-off. More attacking play from Switzerland. And they'll take the draw to Santa Guida's left-hand side. It's back on the Swiss side. 99 is Nicola Scheron. Forces the blocker save out of Santa Guida. And then Switzerland can't keep it in. Counter-attack from Canada. It's into the face mask of Lucas Stuckey. With 1:31 to play in our first period, we have the face-off in the Switzerland zone. Shot from the blue line, just wide of the mark. And then backhand pass in front, looking for its target, but it missed. And back to the blue line for Canada. Jaimila White battling along the boards. Play down with now Switzerland. Looking for the centering pass to Solos. Knocks off it though by Evan Jaimila. Still battling. Solos and Jaimila. It's kept in just outside the blue line. Switzerland, but it's Canada. The outlet pass down the floor. And low too quickly over the blue line. And play offside. And we'll come back to the neutral zone for the face-off. Ball back on the Canadian side. But then it's turned over to Fund for Switzerland. His shot wide of the mark allows Canada to clear. It's Wiesmann in the neutral zone. Plays it with a glove and it's deflected up into the Swiss bench. Inside the final 30 seconds of our first period, Switzerland 0, Canada 1. Opening period of action here on day 3 of the World Juniors, Sheffield 2016. Sallows down low, level with the goal line, comes back to the neutral zone. Deloria lets go from the centre circle. It's high and gloved down by Stuckey in the Switzerland net. Content to play out another defensive face-off for the Swiss. Back on the Canadian side, but it's a counter-attack from Switzerland. This is 9, it's Ramon Meyer. Backhand from Meyer. Doesn't get past Carmichael and it's deflected away. That's the hooter to end the first period. 50 minutes gone in the game. I'll take a short break with the score. Switzerland 0, Canada 1. West coast of USA and Canada. And it's there. Finally the pressure tells. West coast of USA and Canada. And it's there. Finally the pressure tells. So here's Sheffield 2016. We're back with period 2 in just a few moments. If you're on social media, we're at Sheffield 2016 on both Facebook and Twitter. If you're listening in, you can send us a message. I'll give you a shout out during the second period. But for now, we'll see you soon. End of the first, Switzerland 0, Canada 1. ready to go for our second period. Morning to Gary Slavin in British Columbia, where it is now just Friday morning. It's just gone midnight for Gary. Tuning in to watch us here in Sheffield. Says, keep up the great work, Coach Dave Willoy. Under 18 Canada, go, Canada, go. Thanks for all your messages on social media here this week. Let us know where you are watching us, and we'll give you a mention during our broadcast. We're underway in period 2. Canada with the goal 2-1 lead. Ryan Sallows, the only goal so far. Kyle Linney keeps it in at the blue line. And then it's 3-on-2 Switzerland, if they can get the possession. There's Jesse Dealey. Dealey brought down on the play. Delayed penalty coming. And Canada finally get the touch up just as the Swiss goalie reaches the halfway line. And first time today, Switzerland will get the man advantage. Canada's Mitchell Livingston sits for tripping. And we'll go with the Switzerland power play unit. Back on the Canada side though. A long clearance down the floor. And Switzerland have to go back to retrieve. Gains his own for Switzerland. Baldari setting up in the Canada zone. Got a man high on the point. And then the attempted shot from Baldari hits the Canada leg, doesn't get through to the netminder, so regroups and starts again. We've got 14 is Alexander Klivas. Baldari, he's knocked off it by Carmichael, who turns and fires it the length of the floor. Some time for Canada to change. Mark Blows heads to the bench. New pair of legs on the Canadian PK. Tavan Straub almost made it through, but dispossessed at the Switzerland blue line. Good kill so far from Canada. Gaining possession, firing it straight down the floor and forcing Switzerland to come the full 200 feet. .30 seconds left on the power play. Switzerland very patient build-up. Gains the zone for Baldari. Benoit Fleury is down on the wing for Switzerland. Back to the blue line. Blue fakes the shot. Gives it the full wind-up. This is Dealey. Dealey, he does let go. It hits Carmichael on the leg. Stings for the Canadian captain. Still feeling that one a little bit. Try and run it off as best he can. Canada return to 5 players. 5-on-5 hockey once again here on the floor. The Bauer Arena, Sheffield. Ball back behind the Switzerland net. 3.5 minutes gone by on period 2. It's Switzerland 0, Canada 1. Ryan Sallows with the only strike so far. And then Canada pressing forward, and the centering pass cut out by Stuckey with the glove in the crease and hangs on for the face-off. Gets down smartly again. Stuckey, pad save. The shot from the face-off circle. Johnson turns, fires. Richardson. It's deflected over the top. Comes back off the boards. Still Canada with it. Cycles it down low. Got a man at the point. This is Ryan Sallows, the goal scorer. Centering pass. Finds its way all the way through to Haimila. Haimila tried the backhand off the boards. Only found a Switzerland stick. And cleared into the neutral zone. Haimila gains the red. Fires it round for Sallows to chase. Gets there in the corner ahead of Sean Ersch. Richardson running a pace, backhand pass right across the goal. Haimila keeps it in, and that small play gets away from the defenseman. Sallows puts a move on, comes around in front, tries to wrap around. Hits the pads of Stuckey and goes across the face of net. And Canada unable to force home the rebound. Early pressure, period 2. Over 5 minutes gone by already. Canada though lead it still by just a 1-0. Loose ball in front. The snapshot into the chest of Stuckey. That was from Apostoliak. This is Jared White. White fakes the shot. Let's go with the wrist. This is low on the far wing. Picks up his own rebound. Cycles again round the face-off circle. The shot goes wide, but Team Canada keep their possession. White, the D-man, to White, the forward. And then Lowe's attempted shot from the neutral zone. Hits Wiesman. Forces Canada to regroup in their own zone, but they blink of an eye, they're back on the attack in the Switzerland end. That was Jared White across to Delorier. Delorier, there is shot off the post. Had Stuckey beaten the near side. It comes back off the pipes for Delorier. Braden Delorier keeping it in at the blue line. Still Canada pressing. And a whistle down for player in the crease. Gives a small respite at least for Switzerland, having to soak up a lot of pressure from Canada there. The goal survives just about intact. Delorier coming the closest with the shot off the post. Face-off win comes back on the Canada side. Switzerland thought they had it, but back all the way to Canada, and then bringing it over the halfway. And this is Mark Blows. Gains the zone, and then just keeps it in at halfway. There's Delorier. Bouncing ball cleared into the corner. This is Switzerland. Around moments in the Canada zone. Santa Guida has to be on point. And a blink of an eye, it's there from Greer! End to end in a matter of seconds. From Santa Guida making the save at one end to Dylan Greer firing it across the face of the goal and into the far corner, making it 2-0 to Team Canada. Approaching the midpoint of our second period. It's Switzerland 0, Canada 2. Dylan Greer with the goal for Canada. More pressure again from Canada. Low and Gautreau. It's broken away by Switzerland. Deflected up and out of play. And we'll continue with a face-off just outside the Canada blue line. So Canada more pressure in the attacking zone. Mark Gautreau with a turnaround shot, just wide of the mark. Pressure though maintained by Canada. 6.5 to play in period 2. Canada lead 2-0. Linney has to run back. comes round the circle looking to create the effort. Pad save from Stuckey. Shot was from Richardson. Johnson's controlling things at the point. Side netting from Canada. Sallows thought it was in, but side netting. Canada though still with possession. Less than 3 to play. Sallows hanging around the top of the crease, looking for any scraps that come his way. The one-timer from Jaimila, just wide of the target. Switzerland able to bring it away, but dispossessed along the boards. And Canada dump it back in. Still pressure from Team Canada. On the doorstep is Johnson. Can't get a stick to it as it goes across the top of the crease. And that from in front of the Canada bench, wide into the corner. It's kept in at the red line from Pedersen. And comes off the boards to the side of the goal where Stuckey puts the hand on it and will take the face off. 1:57 to play in our middle period. And it's Switzerland 2, Canada 2. From the face-off, low with the shot. Doesn't get through, so back to Pedersen at the blue. Low thinks about the shot, fakes it. And the diving stop from Switzerland. As Frederick Wallin doing the dirty work in his own zone. Meyer for Switzerland tries the long pass, but it's too long and goes down for icing. And back we come to the Switzerland zone. 90 seconds to play in period 2. And the ball on the Switzerland side, forward to Worley. Adrian Worley for Switzerland. Delorier holding it along the boards behind the Canada net. Players trying to dig it out. It's still in there. Comes out. Foot race into the corner. Delorier gets there first with a long reach. Manages to bat it away into neutral zone. Canada looking to break its speed. This is low through the middle. Drop pass. Cut out by Switzerland. Forward to Worley. Worley can't get past Pedersen. And good battle along the boards. Full-on period of hockey here at Sheffield 2016. 2-2 between Switzerland and Canada under 18s in the final 30 seconds of our middle frame. Shot from Johnson's gloved wide by Stuckey, and then got down with a pad save on that one as well. Final few seconds, fast break from Switzerland. Any late drama in our middle period? Ball back and forward in the neutral zone. And then it's the hooter sounds to end the action for period 2. Ball drops for period 3 here on day 3. It's game 1, and we're in the under-18s with Switzerland and Canada, tied at 2-2 after 2 periods. Switzerland coming back from 2-0 down to level, going into our final frame. Foot race down the floor from Canada. That's Linney. Linney rims it round for Sallows. Switzerland turn it over, win possession, fire it down the length of the floor. And Santaguida just watches it carefully go past his net and over the goal line for an icing charge. Switzerland change up, as do Canada. New lines on the floor. We'll see how this one plays out this period. 2-2, Switzerland and Canada. Good hustle on the boards. Pedersen. Let go from the centre circle. Took deflection, goes up and out of play. The face-off stays in the Switzerland zone. And back on the Canada side. Gautreau and Porter battling behind for Canada. Porter can't get it off the Swiss defenseman. And it is Switzerland who bring it away over the red. Gains the zone for Switzerland. Solos lets the shot go. It's there on the doorstep. And Santaguida had to be alert for the rebound. Switzerland threatening early here in period 3. Chance of hop Swiss from the supporters on the far side behind the Switzerland bench. Let's see their team press for an unprecedented go-ahead goal, possibly against Team Canada. We'll see what unfolds over the next 13 minutes. Carmichael to Gautreau. Gautreau across the face. Glove save from Stuckey. Kept in though by Straub. Straub stops, shoots. Combination of Stuckey and I think the pipes kept that one out for Canada. White in the neutral zone for Canada. Has Straub at the point if he needs him. Instead, Straub follows in the play. Ball tight against these near boards. That's Mark Gautreau. Gautreau looks to Straub, but it's cleared down to the Canada end. Icing again against Switzerland. Both teams take the opportunity to bring on fresh legs onto the floor. From the face-off, Canada tries the wrap around, goes across the top of the crease and stays out. Canada still with it, ran behind the net to Greer. Greer's there first. Scored Canada's second goal. Dylan Greer into the corner. Behind the net for Straub. Straub looks for the outlet. This is Jaimila at the blue line. Didn't quite keep it in at the centre red line, so Canada offside in the Swissland zone. Coming down to 11 minutes remaining in the third period. Still tied. Switzerland 2, Canada 2. Delorier keeps it in at the blue line, down low to Daniel Lowe. Right there at the crease. In front of Stuckey. The ball though stays out. Battling in the corners. Still there with it. Apostoliak comes out to Lowe. Lowe fakes the shot. And then it's off the leg of the Swiss defenseman. Kept alive by Team Canada. Pedersen down low to White. Jared White in the corner. He's knocked off it. Loses his stick. And cleared up into the netting. Attempted clearance from Switzerland. Face off in the attacking zone end for Team Canada. Shot wide by Johnson. He battles back to keep it in. Switzerland clear it only as far as Linney. Keeps it going in the neutral zone. Linney fires it goalwards. It's off the glass behind Stuckey. Livingston to Linney. Linney, wrist shot from outside the blue. Causing a bit of chaos in front of the Swissland net. And finally play stops for a whistle. It's going to be a penalty on Canada. Brendan Johnson walking towards the penalty box. He gets the slashing call. And power play for Switzerland. How big could the special teams be in the remaining 9 minutes 40 seconds? Switzerland power play. A tie game 2-2 with Canada. Back to Frederick Wallin. Wallin down along the boards. Fakes the one-timer in the neutral zone. Keeping it alive. This is Dealey. Dealey down to Adrian Verley. Ball movement from Switzerland looking for the opening chance. Down low is Worley. Worley can't get it past Santaguida. It's held up against the boards in the near corner here. Still with it is Switzerland. It's Verley down low. 27 is Benoit Fleury. Fleury runs in. Didn't let it go the first time. Had a chance for a second effort, but it's half cleared by Canada. Only as far as Wallin. Down low again is Fleury. Kicks it back up to the point with Dealey. Wallin. Wide of the mark from Wallin. But still Switzerland controlling it on the power play. 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Dealey in the centre circle. Down low, this is Verley. Verley moves in, tries to find the shot from the high slot. It's broken up by Canada. And this is Tavin Straub. Like a one-man wrecking ball on the PK. "19 seconds left on the Canadian penalty. We go 4-on-4 with Jesse Delly taking a seat for a body check. Certainly the momentum on the penalty kill from Tavin Straub giving the Canadians a boost as we take the offensive face-off in the Switzerland zone. Ball back on the Canadian side. Too strong to keep in the zone and having to build from their own zone. This is Livingston. Greer cuts in from the wing, looking for his second of the game. Johnson springs from the penalty box. Canada onto the power play. Livingston shoots off a Switzerland stick into the corner. 7.5 minutes gone, 7.5 to play in period 3. We're still tied. It's Switzerland 2, Canada 2. Down low. Canada trying to force it in. Still with it, Livingston. White fakes the shot, goes for the pass instead. And then Stuckey has to reach back over his head for the high ball. Plucks it out of the air and hangs on for the face-off. 64 seconds on the Swiss penalty. Ball back on the Canada side. Final minutes of the power play for Canada. It's Livingston. Let's fly from the blue line. Tipped in front and safely pouched by Lucas Stuckey. New partnership on the point for Canada. Livingston now with Kyle Linney. Linney jumps into the play. Shot from Livingston. Glove save from Stuckey. .37 seconds on the power play. Face off again. Back on the Switzerland side, battling in the corner. Onto a Canadian stick. Sallows to the point. That's Livingston. Sallows back to Livingston. Working it for a possible one-timer for the top. Pass didn't come through clearly enough. Linney, he fires it goalwards, just wide of the mark. 15 seconds on the man advantage. Livingston, let's go this time. It's high and comes back off the glass behind Stuckey's net. Final few seconds of the penalty. Linney fires it in. Stuckey puts the glove there, doesn't catch it cleanly. Still does enough to keep it out, and then down with a stick save. Busy period from Lucas Stuckey, equal to it so far. Linney, he lets go. That's wide on the mark from Kyle Linney. 5.5 to play. And the foot race down the floor results in the icing charge on Switzerland. 5-on-5 hockey once again. 5 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the period. We're still tied. Switzerland 2, Canada 2. From the face-off win, the shot from the slot. Wide of the mark. Battling along the boards is Porter. Down low to control. Porter. And then low. Couldn't get it cleanly. Good stick check from Dario Baldari. And it's fired down the floor once again, Switzerland. I'll go down for the face-off to the right of Lucas Stuckey. That was low with the air shot. It's an odd man for Switzerland. This is Fund. Squared it. Jaimila's there. Great sliding play from Evan Haimila. Odd man rush for Switzerland could have resulted in something, but a sliding play from Evan Haimila breaks up the attack. And we'll have the offensive face-off. Back again on the Switzerland side, too clean, if anything, so it's into neutral territory. And that one deflects into the netting here in front of us. Face off just outside the Switzerland blue line. 4:45 remaining period 3. Can one of these teams find something late on here at Sheffield 2016? Shot from Kunsch, short side on Santa Guida, it's equal to it. And Canada tried to bring it up the boards, although battling play from Ramon Maya forces Carmichael to play it behind his own net. Marc Gautreau loses out. Switzerland have it. This is Kunsch. Kunsch forward, intended for Jesse Dealey. But counter-attack the other way. This is low for Canada. And the shot across was dealt with by Lucas Stuckey. Danielo showing great pace on the floor once again, but can't manage to find a way past Lucas Stuckey in the Switzerland net. 3:51 to play. Face off Canada. It's back on the Canadian side. Fire down the floor though. Switzerland don't even bother to chase. They know it's going to be an icing charge, which it is. Livingston with a one-timer from the blue line. A lot of traffic in front of Stuckey, but manages to see it clearly enough. And hands on for the face-off. From the face-off, Canada working for the one-timers from the blue line. Was Lenny fires it in again on Lucas Stuckey. Three and a half to play in the third period. Switzerland 2, Canada 2. Livingston has it behind his own goal line, having to come the full 200 feet for Canada. Backhands it up the floor, intended for Tavin Straub, but Switzerland clear it. That's through to Straub. Great pass to the Swiss blue line. Straub lets it go. Scrambling stop from Stuckey. Just does enough to keep it out, and then fired back in on net. Late pressure from Team Canada, 2:40 to play. Play at the Swiss blue line results in a deflection, and then mistake from Santa Guida. He has to recover, and just about does so. That was Jesse Dealey with a great chance for late drama for Switzerland. But a blink of an eye, we're back into the Switzerland zone. End-to-end stuff these final few minutes. Will we have late drama in terms of a regulation winner. Foot race for Santa Guida, just does enough to put off Benoit Fleury. And then Switzerland try to fire it in. It's turned over to neutral zone, Team Canada. Adrian Verley tries to clear it for Switzerland, but in the end it's dumped in by Canada. Johnson and Sallows competing with Scott Rohrbach. It's the Swiss man who brings it away. Through on net, could it be for Benoit Fleury? Again, Santa Guida has to come a long way out of his net. And then shot from Switzerland goes wide. 1:20 in regulation time. Carmichael forward to Sallows. Sallows plays it up the boards. Icing waved off as Carmichael played it. And then an interference penalty on Switzerland, as it was a race for the ball behind the Canada net. Scott Rohrbach sits for interference. So it'll be a late power play for Canada. Canada have already called their timeout, so this one on the call by Switzerland. 65 seconds remaining in regulation. .65 seconds remaining in our third period. 2-2 Switzerland and Canada, and the Canadians with a late power play opportunity. Face off back on the Switzerland side, and they're short-handed, so they can fire it on the floor without impunity. 50 seconds on the clock. It's Sallows through the middle, shoots, saved by Stuckey. Down to 45 seconds remaining in regulation time. Sallows in for the draw for Canada. Comes back on the Canadian side. Livingston just keeps it in at the blue line. Sallows across to Lowe. Instead goes backhand to Livingston. Livingston across to Lowe at the blue line. Working in the opening. 30 seconds. Regulation time remaining. Livingston, one-timer. That's wide of the mark for Canada. This late power play. Will we see anything from Canada? Just wide of the net. Switzerland play around the boards. It's not strong enough. It's kept in at the blue line from Livingston. 10 seconds. That's up and out of play. Deflected off a Switzerland stick. The face-off will stay inside the Switzerland zone. Six seconds remaining in the game. 2-2. Back to the point, shot over the top. And that's the end of regulation time. So after regulation time, we're tied at 2-2. So we will define a winner by way of a penalty shootout. 3 rounds of shooters. And if it's still level after 3 rounds, we'd go to sudden death. So 9 AM on a Friday morning, it's the end of game 1. We're tied after regulation time. We will be going to a penalty shootout. The captains just in front of us, sorting out the order for which team will be shooting first. So will be Switzerland taking our first shot. And it's Jesse Dilly in on net. Through the 5-hole. And that's a smart play from Dilly. And that's 1 shot, 1 goal in the shootout for Switzerland. Round 1 for Team Canada is Brendan Johnson. Runs in, stick handles, and that's wide. Round 1, advantage Switzerland. So Johnson's shot in strikes the post. So advantage Switzerland after the first round. This is Benoit Fleury. Fleury goes in, shoots and saves. Santaguida. So chance for Canada to get back on terms. This is Mark Gautreau. Picks it up from the centre line, runs in on Stuckey, stick handles and loses it in front of the net. So 2 rounds down, still advantage Switzerland. So round 3. This is Adrian Verley for Switzerland. Picks it up from the halfway to the hash marks. Shoots and scores! It's a penalty shot win for Switzerland over Team Canada, and they take the points after penalty shots. Successful on 2 out of 3 for Team Canada. Canada missed 2 of theirs. And you have to say it's something of an upset here at the World Juniors. After penalty shots, Switzerland 3, Canada 2. Fantastic stuff from Switzerland. We line up for our players of the game. So remember, early in that second period, Canada up by 2-0. Pegged back at the end of the second, 2-2. A scoreless third. And then 2 out of 3 penalty shots for Switzerland. Gives them the extra point.
The first total man of the match for Team Canada goes to number 4,
Dylan
Dylan Greer.
Greer, player of the game for Canada. Player awards. Sponsored by Bauer here at the Bauer Arena. And Switzerland. And could only really be one player for Switzerland. Lucas Stuckey stood strong in regulation and big in the penalty shootout. So we stand for the Swiss national anthem. So a dramatic conclusion to our opening game here at World Juniors 2016. A penalty shot win for Switzerland over Team Canada. Teams shake hands across the middle of the floor. We'll be back in around 20 minutes with game 2. We're in the under-20s with USA and the Czech Republic. That's here on Sheffield2016.com. If you're on social media, you can get us on Facebook and Twitter at Sheffield2016. Send us a message wherever you're watching. I will give you a mention during our broadcast later today. For now, that's game 1 done. A historic win for Switzerland over Canada. I'll be back in 20 minutes with game 2. For now, we'll see you soon.